Faultless, 2016. The film tells the story of a woman who, after losing her job, returns to her hometown, hoping to rebuild her life. However, almost immediately, she learns that her position has been taken by a younger, more successful employee. Instead of accepting what has happened, the heroine gradually begins to grow closer to this woman. At first, their interactions seem friendly and harmless, but over time it becomes clear that this conceals a desire to regain control of the situation. Manipulation intensifies, boundaries blur, and a normal rivalry escalates into a dangerous psychological confrontation, leading to unpredictable consequences.
Ping Pong, 2006. A young teenager visits his relatives and finds himself in a strange, almost suffocating atmosphere. His attention is drawn to an older woman, his uncle's wife. A tension arises between them, filled with understanding and hidden attraction. Everything unfolds slowly, almost imperceptibly, but with each passing moment, it becomes increasingly unsettling. This film is about internal conflict, loneliness, and the search for intimacy where it shouldn't exist. The atmosphere plays as much of a role here as the characters themselves.
In the Bedroom, 2001. The plot centers on a married couple living a quiet and measured life in a small coastal town. Their adult son begins a relationship with a woman whose past is linked to an aggressive and unstable ex-husband. The situation soon spirals out of control, leading to the tragic death of their son. The parents are left alone with grief, which destroys their familiar world. Legal proceedings bring no sense of justice, and pain and inner tension mount. The film slowly and meticulously reveals how loss changes people and pushes them to make difficult decisions.
Right, Georgia?
Georgia Rule, 2007. The film tells the story of a troubled girl whose mother sends her to live with her strict grandmother for the summer, hoping discipline will change her behavior. In this household, there are strict rules that everyone must follow. Initially, the heroine openly protests, but over time, she finds a job, makes new friends, and begins to see things differently. Gradually, family secrets connected to the past of several generations are revealed. These revelations become a turning point, changing relationships within the family and forcing the characters to reconsider their views.
I prefer unique. Don't look evil.
Makeup helps.
The Summer House, 2018. The plot unfolds during a summer vacation that appears calm and carefree on the surface. The protagonist arrives with her daughter to visit her family, hoping to recuperate after a difficult period in her life. However, the familiar surroundings quickly reveal hidden conflicts, doubts, and unresolved issues. Table conversations, memories, and occasional quarrels force the protagonist to reflect on her career, personal life, and future. The film shows how summer can be more than just a vacation, but a time of inner change. Flying Blind, 2012. The plot centers on a woman experiencing an emotional crisis and trying to rebuild her life after a difficult relationship. She meets a young man whose openness and sincerity become a breath of fresh air. Their connection is built on long conversations, shared walks, and mutual support. He helps her regain her confidence, and she teaches him to see the world more deeply and attentively. The story reveals for two people from different stages of life can become each other's support system, even if others don't always understand their choices. Good Luck, 2014. The story unfolds within the walls of a medical facility where people's destinies intersect at the most difficult moments of their lives. A young man faces a serious challenge, and it is there that he meets an older woman who helps him maintain hope. Their conversations about the past, the future, and the fear of the unknown become the foundation of their special bond. She shares her wisdom, he shares his belief that change is still possible. The film emphasizes that support and human warmth can overcome any circumstances, even in the darkest periods of life. New York Prison Break: The Seduction of Joyce Mitchell, 2017. Based on a true story, this film depicts how an adult woman working in the system becomes emotionally involved in the lives of young men behind bars. At first, it seems like a harmless interaction, but over time, the relationship becomes increasingly complex and dangerous. The story explores how loneliness and a thirst for recognition can push a person to make decisions that change the destinies of several people at once. This is not just a drama about an escape, but a story about psychological dependence, emotional traps, and how feelings can blind even the most rational people.
Are you out of your mind?
You can't kill me, you can't.
A Woman Not to Adventures, 2008. The main character is a successful woman accustomed to stability and control. Her life follows a clear plan until she meets a young man who lives by emotions and impulses. He draws her into a world of spontaneous decisions, new experiences, and bold actions. She teaches him responsibility and an understanding of the depth of feelings. The film explores how love can become a journey in which both partners learn to transcend their traditional roles, finding a balance between their heads and hearts. Goyo 2024. This contemporary story depicts a young man on the threshold of major life changes. He meets a woman who has already experienced loss, disappointment, and personal triumphs. Their conversation begins with simple conversations, but gradually develops into a deep emotional connection. She helps him understand himself, his goals, and his fears, and he gives her the feeling that the future can still be bright. The film is filled with moments of silence, glances, and unspoken words, emphasizing that the most powerful feelings are often born not in loud declarations, but in understanding and support.